This is Talk Sense Media. Now in the news, a man known as Chip Chop was shot and killed by the police in Old Harbour over the weekend. According to police reports, Wheatley, otherwise called Chip Chop, was fatally shot during an operation in Red Ground district of Old Harbour, St. Catherine South. A firearm was reportedly seized. Now, this shooting brings the number of people killed by the security forces in 2025 to 141. Also in the news, Minister Chang reports steady decline in severe violence in Jamaica. Now, Dr. Chang says if the current pattern holds, the country could see well below 800 murders for 2025. Speaking with Nationwide News, Cliff Hughes, on Monday, Dr. Chang credited the continued reduction in the country's murder rate on the work of the police in disrupting gangs with continued backing from the Andrew Holness administration. He reported that between January 1 and Monday, June 9th, 292 murders were recorded. That's 231 fewer than the 523 murders recorded for the same period in 2024. Overall, major crimes are down by 20%. Dr. Chang says this reduction represents a nationwide trend.
It's a national trend. In fact, I checked today, but last week we only had 2 parishes out of 9, and they were the 2 of the traditional safe parishes, so the numbers were pretty minimal.
Other crimes also show a downward trend, with rape cases declining by 69. But despite the progress, robberies increased by 10. And break-ins rose by 76. So essentially, what we see happening here is that there's a shift in criminal activities. And finally in the news, on Sunday, June the 8th, Jamaica recorded no murders for the entire day. A rare yet welcoming development. So this announcement was made by Assistant Commissioner of Police Christopher Phillips, head of Police Area 5, during the funeral of 9-year-old Kelsey Ferrigan in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. ACP Phillips used the moment to reflect on the broader message, which is crime cannot flourish in a community that cares. But while this one day of peace is commendable, we have to place it in context. And the question is, can this progress be maintained? Or is it merely a temporary pause until complacency sets in by the JCF? Only time will tell. But in the meantime, let's give the police the benefit of the doubt. This is Talk Sense Media, your voice of reason in the noise.